St. Simon Says, written and narrated by me, the author, Vanessa Echols. Chapter 9. Sharmelle met King Lee when he and Lyra were both interns at one of the local TV stations, and Sharmelle and King were inseparable the entire summer, and she was heartbroken when they mutually decided to break up before they headed back to college in the fall. She left for Hampton University in Virginia, where she did her undergraduate studies, and King returned to the other side of the country to finish his degree at Stanford. Sharmelle was one of those who made a list, in her case a very detailed list, of what she was hoping and praying for in her future husband. On paper, King Lee checked all the boxes. He was serious about his relationship with the Lord, talented, and focused on his career, well-traveled, and she told Lyra more than once, one of the kindest humans God ever created. And not first on the list, but fairly close to the top, he was the kind of handsome that made you look twice the first time you saw him. King's career as a photographer took him all over the world, from war zones to fashion shows, which is why she assumed he was in Paris. It was easy to follow his career. He'd won nearly every photography award, co-produced an award-winning documentary about genocide in Sudan, and had a best-selling book of his photographs featuring architecture of abandoned buildings and cities in the Northeast. Sharmelle and King tried to reconnect over the years. Once when he returned to Pearl City for 6 months, Sharmelle was dating someone else. The last time he was in South Georgia for work, his grandmother mentioned to her that King was back in town for a while. However, he wasn't back alone. "We are 2 ships passing in the night, and I guess that's all we'll ever be," Sharmelle told Sam more than once. And now he was back in town. "Okay, time's up for this 2 ships passing stuff," Sam announced. "Of course he asked about you. He said he'll be in Atlanta for work for at least a month, but he'll be here to visit his grandma. And you know Mrs. Gussie has always liked you. She is probably praying on her knees right now, asking God to bring you 2 together before she goes on home to glory. Isn't that how y'all describe the great beyond down at First Ave?" Sharmelle tried hard not to laugh. She was not successful. "Okay, Sam, we'll see what happens." "No, seeing what happens hasn't worked for the last decade. This time we will make it happen. Call him and report back to me this evening. Let's meet for dinner around 7. You pick the place. Text me. Au revoir. Love you. Mean it." Sharmelle just smiled, realizing that Sam was headstrong when it came to her friends and relationships, which was ironic since Sam had been married and divorced twice, and currently casually dating a rising star in the state legislature who had his eye on the governor's mansion. Although she would have loved to spend the morning reminiscing about King, Sharmelle knew what was facing her in the office, trying to track down Marcus Pierce. She was devoting the entire day to that one case, and she was glad her receptionist, Jacqueline, would be in the office. She was discreet and wouldn't ask too many questions beyond whatever Sharmelle told her about the new case. Sharmelle arrived at the office at 8:30 and Jacqueline was already there, had made fresh coffee, brought bagels, and brightened up the place with a vase of beautiful flowers. "Hey, boss, that was quite a birthday gathering. Your sister knows how to throw a birthday brunch. Be sure to tell her that my birthday is the day after Christmas," Jacqueline laughed. "I certainly will," Sharmelle said. "I'm glad you're in the office today because we have a new case and I'm going to need you to use your internet stalking skills on this one." Jacqueline had proven that she was not only efficient in keeping track of appointments and Sharmelle's calendar, but her internet searching skills were unmatched. "This new case is going to require a great deal of discretion, Jay, and there are some details that I can't tell you right now." Sharmelle then laid out the case, providing details about Etta Hayes' request, but without mentioning any names. She knew she'd need to share that with Jacqueline, but not before consulting Mrs. Hayes. After hearing the story and how it unfolded, Jacqueline asked the obvious question. "Okay, it's been 60 years. Why tell him now?" "The client wants to honor the pact she made with her late husband. That seems really important to her. I don't think she can feel at peace until she finds the biological father, if he's even still alive. I know you have a lot of questions, Jay. I can see it on your face." She was right. Jacqueline did have questions. A lot of them. "Well, in fact, I do," Jacqueline said. "This kind of has me way confused. It's been 60 years. I mean, I get what you said about the pact between her and her husband, her late husband, but the son is now a grown man. I assume he has children of his own. Is this woman not concerned about how this might wreck his world? I mean, you've lived your whole life thinking somebody is your father. That man is dead. And now you learn he wasn't even your father, not your biological father. It just seems like sometimes you should let sleeping dogs lie, as my mama likes to say. Sharmelle tried to explain. I feel the same way, and I have the same questions you have, Jay. But like I said, she is determined to honor the agreement she and her late husband had. Well, Shar, I feel like I'm solving one of those Hollywood mysteries, but I'm in. Let's find Mr. Marcus Pierce. For the rest of the afternoon, Sharmelle and Jacqueline went down the internet rabbit hole of sites to search for death records, only breaking for a brief 30-minute lunch in their break room. Finally, around 5:15, they were both convinced that all of the Marcus Pierces they found, none of them was the one. They were confident Marcus Pierce was out there somewhere, alive and hopefully well.